Now, despite popular belief, and despite me just coming off an all-nighter to record this video at 6:30 in the morning after the Socceroos have just been knocked out of the World Cup, I am not dead. Yes, I've been treating my soccer channel as my main channel for about the past month now, so if you want to go check that out, you can via the link in the description. But today, we're back on getting into action on the main channel, and the round 1 AFL fixture is out. The full fixture comes out next week, so this is the perfect time to pounce on some content. I pretty much had no motivation whatsoever to upload on this channel. I've just had nothing to do. I've just had no ideas. There's been a lot of factors into me not uploading on here, so I do apologise on that. My PC is also stuffed, so that's another help on me not uploading. But anyway, let's get into this. Today, I'm going to be analysing and going over the round 1 AFL fixture for 2023. It's been announced. I went over it last year. I thought I'd do it again this year. Not only just to get a video out, but to see what are the best round 1 matchups and have they scheduled it well, the AFL. Now, the real only thing we've got to have in mind about this round 1 scheduling is that both of the WA teams play away in this fixture. This is due to the AFL introducing the Magic Round in round 5 in Adelaide, which pushed back the whole season by a week, which then meant that Ed Sheeran's concert at Optus Stadium would clash with round 1. So yeah, West Coast and Fremantle will both play at home in round 2. That's how that's going to work. Anyway, let's get right into this, and we're back off to a traditional Thursday start of the 2023 AFL season. It is Richmond and Carlton, Thursday, March 16th at the MCG. This is what you want to be having. I was a fan of the grand final rematch. I'm not a fan of having the same game back to back, going grand final then season opener. It didn't attract a massive crowd, even if it was Melbourne versus Western Bulldogs, two teams that aren't going to attract a massive crowd. I don't know, I thought there was something a little bit off about it, and as shit as Richmond Carlton could be every year, I feel like it's not only a traditional rivalry, but it's starting to pick up some momentum in terms of how good both of the teams can really be in 2023. I think this is going to be an absolutely cracking start to the season. I know we say this every year, but I truly do mean it this year. I think last season's game was cracking with Carlton breaking the streak. I feel like it could be again this year. Next up on the Friday night, we are at the MCG, and this is a qualifying final rematch for the ages. It's Geelong and Collingwood, MCG Friday night, a Geelong home game. They decided to use one of their MCG home games in round 1 against Collingwood, which I guess they kind of have to if they want to play Collingwood at home. This is guaranteed to attract over 80,000 people. This crowd is going to be absolutely monstrous. It's a perfect scheduling technique to get the season up and running with two crackers in the MCG to start off the season. Richmond Carlton will get at least 60,000. Geelong Collingwood will get at least 80,000. It's going to be a cracking first couple nights to the season, and I can't wait. Geelong Collingwood. Collingwood may be prone for a little bit of a drop off this year because of their really young list. I'm not sure how they're going to cope for another year being consistently in the top 4 and fighting for a premiership, where Geelong they'll be unveiling their premiership banner down at the MCG and yeah, looking to defend their premiership and start off their premiership defence in style. Moving on to Saturday, we've got 4 games on the Saturday, 3 games on the Sunday. Starting off on Saturday, we've actually got the worst opening game in human existence. The first Saturday game all season, 1:45 at Marvel, North Melbourne versus West Coast. Literally can't get any worse. It's so hard to get any worse. It's a dreadful, dreadful game. I don't care because I don't have to tune into it, but God almighty, that is such a bad game to open the season. But it looks like we could see either North Melbourne or West Coast in the top 8 to start the season. So you know, it could be a rare sight. Come on, North. The second game on the Saturday, 4:05 local time in Adelaide. It is Port Adelaide taking on Brisbane at the Adelaide Oval. This arguably my probably second favourite game of the round to watch. Obviously behind the Freo games. Geelong Collingwood probably first for me. Then Port Adelaide versus Brisbane. I mean, how good is this? Brisbane with the additions of Jack Gunston, Josh Dunkley, adding some more firepower to the already stacked team of Joe Danaher, Lockie Neal, Eric Hipwood, Cam Rayner, Hugh McCluggage. It's just such a good team, the Brisbane Lions. They'll be fighting for a premiership in 2023, no doubt. I feel like this is very potentially their year. And Port Adelaide, Really what cost them last year was an 0-5 start to the season, and I've got 100% guaranteed that won't happen again this year. They've added over the off-season. Port Adelaide will be back to challenging for around that top 4 region, in my opinion. I think this is going to be a cracker, and it actually just shows how many top 8 caliber teams there will be in 2023. Then we move on to the Channel 7 Saturday night game at 7:25 Eastern Daylight Time at the MCG. It is a rematch of the grand final rematch that opened the season last year. Back-to-back seasons, it will be Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs. If this is a tradition, it would be very strange. I don't think it is. I think it's just a coincidence. But it's going to be the D's and the Dogs facing off once again. Channel 7 Saturday night. I still don't know how the Bulldogs continually get Channel 7 Saturday night prime times bloody every week, it seems like. But, you know, they made the top 8. Yet some other teams that made the top 8 get last game on a Sunday on Fox Footy. Freo. But yeah, Melbourne Bulldogs, it'll be a good game. The D should get it done pretty convincingly. I'm not sure about the Dogs this year. They've added Rory Lobb to the side. They've added Zane Coy. They've lost Josh Dunkley though, which is the big one. So I'm really keen to see how the Dogs pan out, and I really hope Rory Lobb has an absolute rotter to start his season. And then the final game of the Saturday, the Fox Footy game, 7 PM Eastern Standard Time on the Gold Coast at Metricon Stadium. Gold Coast will host grand finalist Sydney. Bit stiff for Sydney to be in a grand final, then the AFL decides to schedule them on the Gold Coast. But you know, Swans should get done there. But the Suns, you never know, they could be on the rise this year. Finally, I hope they are. Stuart doing the Suns. They've lost Isaac Rankin, which is a big loss, but they've brought in a few real solid depth players that can build them from maybe a below contender to maybe a slight contender into the 8th position. I feel like the Suns could do a little bit of damage this year. I have a feeling this could be a little bit of a hidden gem of a game. Moving on to the Sunday, we have got Greater Western Sydney. They take on Adelaide at 1:10 PM at Giant Stadium. Like North Melbourne West Coast, it cannot get much more dead rubber. I'd back Adelaide in this game. GWS looked awful last year. They've lost players over this off-season. Jacob Opera and Tim Taranto. GWS, in my opinion, real shot at the wooden spoon. Greater Western Sydney, we could see the 2012 Greater Western Sydney back. Not that bad, but we could have another wooden spoon GWS this year, because they look horrible this year. I'm backing the Crows here. They're a young up-and-coming side, but yeah, this is a massive dead rubber game. And the Sunday, it is the famous rivalry, 3:20 primetime Channel 7 at the MCG. Sunday Arvo, Hawthorn, Essendon, the famous rivalry. What a contest this will be. Hawthorn, they've lost Jago O'Meara, their tank in the midfield. They've lost Tom Mitchell, their Brownlow medalist and dual tank in the midfield. Essendon, well, they didn't have a good last season, and they've got Brad Scott at the helm. To kickstart Brad Scott's career as an Essendon coach, he'll have to play Hawthorn and Big River at the MCG prime time. So it's a very big task for Brad Scott. Hawthorn have lost a lot of players. It's really a primetime game because it's only a rivalry. This is going to be a really shit game. And the last game, where if we're taking the size of the club and the rivalry out of the equation, this should probably be the primetime game. Although Hawthorn and Essendon, the two big clubs, and of course they're going to get the Channel 7 game. It's last game on a Sunday. It's at Marvel Stadium. It is St Kilda. They host Fremantle. This will be a good game. We saw Fremantle wipe out St Kilda last season at Marvel Stadium, when St Kilda actually wiped out Fremantle at Optus Stadium in round 2 last year. The Dockers have really improved at Marvel Stadium over the course of 2022, so I've got no doubts that we can really take it up to the Saints here. But you know, St Kilda, they'll have Ross Lyon at the helm. This is the main headline. Ross Lyon, second time at the Saints, but against his former team in the Dockers. It could get real feisty. We could see Fifey and Ross Lyon having a boxing match at halftime. It could get heated. Yeah, but I can't wait for that contest. I can't wait for round 1 to start. I'm absolutely buzzing. I also can't wait for this whole fixture to release, and that will be released next week, or sort of this week now, if I've been told correctly. So anyway, I want you all to go down in the comments right now and let me know 2 things. Number 1, your thoughts on the 2023 Round 1 AFL fixture, and number 2, some ideas for this off-season so I can continually keep on uploading consistently on this channel throughout the off-season before the footy season. Make sure you go check out UCATT, my soccer channel. Heaps of World Cup stuff over there, heaps of European football, Man United stuff, pretty much daily almost over there, with so much we do over there. So go and check that out. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Make sure to like and subscribe to keep up with everything to do with the channel. And yeah, cheers.